It is time for Marauder football. Everybody, welcome to tonight's broadcast of Antelope Valley College Marauder football with the visiting Pasadena Lancers. Tonight we have a pretty big game set and ready to go as we see the Lancers run onto the field. The Marauders won the coin toss. They are going to be deferring to the second half, and they will be taking the football. Marauders with their first victory last week, and then the visiting Pasadena City College Lancers with one loss on the season, 2 wins. That loss coming by way of Cerritos College. But we are excited to get underway. Lots of storylines to kind of catch up on. Last week, Darius Warren under the helm of the Marauders. I mean, excellent work, able to complete a lot of passes, over 225 yards passing on the season. And the Pasadena City College, under the quarterback helm of Anthony Arnoux, he's been taking primarily most of the snaps so far for the season. So out onto the field is the kicking unit of the Marauders, and now we are getting set and ready to go with game action. And remember, you can watch all of our broadcasts archived live on SoCal College Sports 1 on YouTube. Those are archived for on-demand viewership as well on the Coast Sports Network. So plenty of opportunities to watch Marauder football as we get ready to get things underway. It's 6 o'clock here in Lancaster, California, home of Antelope Valley College, and we are underway. A long kick into the back of the end zone. Taking a look but not returning the football from Pasadena City College is Ivan Austri, but chooses to let it roll to the back of the end zone, and we will get things started, and we'll see the offensive unit of Pasadena City College get out onto the field for the first time of the night. In the background, you will hear the band of Antelope Valley College. Interesting to see how these teams match up. Obviously, Antelope Valley dropping their first 2 games of the season, but both tough fights all the way across the board. Arnaud hands it off here on first down, and they'll choose to have it on the ground. I believe Isaac Glover is the man carrying the football. He has the most yards on the season, 113 yards out of 29 attempts. And the average is about 3.7 yards per carry. Only a gain of 1, so 2nd and 9 coming up. Passing here on first down, intercepted! Football's intercepted, coming back the other way! Antelope Valley College with an opportunity here early on in the first half, and what a way to start things off. The Marauders with a great opportunity, putting themselves right on the doorstep, and that was Cameron Carlisle with an unbelievable interception as it was tipped off of the hands of intended receiver Ivan Austri. So an awesome opportunity here for the Marauders to start things off, and the first possession of the Pasadena Lancers goes completely the wrong way. And out onto the field for the Marauders, we have Darius Warren. He's had appearances in all 3 games, touchdowns in the first 2, and then obviously led them to the victory last week. And here we go. They did it all on the ground last week. Hands off first down to Burkhead. Burkhead's going to just churn a couple yards out. It looks like he's got a nice gain of 5 yards to start things off. 14:05 on the clock ticking down. So 2nd and 5 coming up. Fakes the throw, hands it off again. Bankhead working his way up. It might be close to a first down. We'll see where the judge calls it. About a yard shy, and that's what they're going to call. Deep in the red zone. First possession offensively for the Marauders today, but a great, again, opportunity. Warren gets everything sorted out. One receiver on each side. They have the heavy offensive line, puts a runner in motion, fakes a handoff, looking left, throws left. He's got Tajin Brown into that zone. Touchdown! Touchdown, Marauders, and that took them all of almost 2 minutes just to get a touchdown on the board. It was 1 minute and 48 seconds. My mistake, that was not a touchdown. Well, this announcer needs to get new glasses. On the doorstep. First down, 3 yards to go from the 3-yard line. Out of the gun. Warren hands off to Bankhead. Bankhead bounces off defender, running towards the corner. He tries to stiff arm one out. He's trying to get back to the original line of scrimmage, and I don't know if he's going to do it. Down at the 5-yard line. So I apologize for the over-enthusiastic announcement of a touchdown, as the personnel will change second and now from the 6-yard line, second and goal. Trying to get their offensive line personnel figured out. 12 seconds on the game or on the play clock here, so enough time to get the snap off. 2 receivers to the left, 1 to the right. Heavy offensive line. Fakes a handoff to Bankhead. Warren trying to figure out where to go. Throws the football up in the air, and oh my goodness. We're going to want to watch this one more time. Just a broken play, and Warren almost makes a huge mistake. That football was up and into the hands of, I think that was, oh my goodness. If it wasn't for landing on top of his head, I believe Guadalupe Cedillo was, he almost had an interception there, but that was a very near disastrous situation, and the football would have been turned over again. Warren throwing towards the back of the end zone. Caught. Touchdown. This time it's a touchdown, and that was Elijah Steele in the back of the end zone, and he just does a nice little out route, guts towards the back of the end zone, and just jumps right over the defensive back. Watch this right here coming into your living room. Beautiful shot, and he just comes right up and over the defender. The defender didn't even have his head turned. So Elijah Steele. So check that. It was not a 2-minute drive to secure the deal. It was practically 3 minutes and 3 seconds, and the Marauders are on the board first this afternoon. John Henderson on to do kicking duties here for the Marauders. PAT is up and good. So the Marauders 7-0 to start things off, and let's go ahead and watch that replay over again. Warren with his 3rd touchdown pass of the season into the back of the end zone, and a great job by Elijah Steele going up and getting it. So we'll have the kicking unit back out onto the field. For the second time of the first quarter, and this is the best way you could have started things off possible for the Marauders. And Gavin Rowenwall is he's doing the kickoff duties here for the Marauders and boots it all the way to the 5-yard line. Low line drive. Returning it back, cutting back inside towards the 25, and he's going to be hit and brought down just by the 30. Looked like Cecile Aka for the Lancers doing the return there. It looked like a 22. So that's what we'll stay with for now. So on for their second drive of the game. Anthony Arnaud, obviously not totally at fault for the interception on the first drive, getting pretty good field position starting from his 30-yard line. He's out of the gun, going to be tossing it in the jet sweep over to the right side. Making his way is Ivan Austri. He was the player involved in the interception earlier on the first drive, and he's going to have a nice gain of 5 yards. They'll be setting it out at the 35 where he was finally knocked out of bounds. 2nd down and 5 coming up, 2-by-2 spread here for the offense. Fakes a handoff, going to throw here on 2nd down, running for it. He has a blocker in front of him, but he's only going to make it up to the 40. He will have the 1st down, or no. Kind of heads-up play there. And just a good job to keep his eyes up and try to make the play. So he had the blocker in front of him, but a good job on the behalf of the defense, just getting in the way. I believe Caden Hinton, who was at the helm earlier on in the season, is now out there in the linebacker position. He was the one who finally forced him out of bounds. Be interesting to know if he's taken up linebacker duties throughout his career. Handles a snap. Throwing here on 1st down. That one almost tipped at the line. Caught and running is Jason Sanford, and he's going to be brought down after a gain of 9. So he'll be just shy at the 50-yard line. So they're right at midfield, no man's land as we call it. Line to gain will be the 49 of the Marauders. So the defense now actually getting a real taste after the miscue on the first possession. Second down coming up, 1 yard to go, and they're going to hand it off right up the middle, and it's Joaquin Elliott with the carry. He's going to have enough for a 1st down. All the way up to the 48, so enough to get 2 out of it. Line to gain will now be the 38-yard line. So Darius Warren under the helm. Caden Hinton getting some tackles and doing his job in the linebacker core. Be useful. That's kind of what the name of the game is. Takes a snap and shotgun here on 1st down. Throwing deep to the left side, and this is towards a receiver, but this is well overthrown. Arnaud wanted to hit Ivan Austri again, but Austri did not have enough speed, and he was well covered. He was kind of under double coverage. He had a little bit of a step, but it was Cameron Carlisle, the man who had the interception a minute ago, who was in on coverage of him. 2nd and 10 coming up. Out of the gun. 2 receivers to his right. Three to his right, 1 to his left, but they're going to go to the ground here on 2nd down. A little gain of 4 yards. Ball carrier was Anthony Arnaud. Or check that, not Anthony Arnaud. It was Isaac Glover. Glover will check out, and I think they're changing out the personnel here for the running back. Yeah, it'll be Joaquin Elliott back on the field. Yeah, it seems to be a little bit of a running back by committee type situation for the Lancers. So 2 receivers to his left, 2 to his right, 1 running back to his right as well. Arnaud out of the gun, throwing here on 3rd down. They need to get 6 out of the backfield and hit well shy of the line around the 39-yard line. They'll mark him at the 38, it looks like. No, they'll have him in between the 38 and the 39. So it was Elliott out of the backfield. As you see, great shot on the ground. Just a quick shout out to our camera crew today is Matt and Scott Tyndall. Professionals in many different mediums of broadcast media. These guys have been doing great work for us this year. And this whole thing is brought to you by SoCal College Sports and the Coast Sports Network. Executive producer Mike Cepeda. Arnaud, little shovel pass on the jet sweep, and breaking free and running towards the end zone is Ivan Austri. And he's going to have a very good gain on 4th down. They choose to go for it. No kicking unit out on the field, and that pays off big dividends here for the Lancers on 4th down. 1st and 10 coming up from the 26-yard line. 7:31 ticking down. The defense has been very good this season in the red zone. I don't have the specific stat in front of me, but they've done a good job of stopping teams. And if you've been on the broadcast with us a couple times this year as we get the false start, and I believe it was number 16 on the corner here, Oscar Willis, was the man to move first. False start is called. The Marauders catch a little bit of a break here as first down will now be from the 31 as opposed to the 26. First and 15 now coming up. Line to gain will be the 16-yard line. Arnaud throwing here on first down. They've been willing to do it under pressure, and he's going to get a block. He's able to throw it and making the catch on the sideline. I want to see this one more time. This is going to be a close one. And you see the receiver, Daniel Schwam, there on the end. It's hard to see if his toes were in there. I can't even tell, but referee had a pretty daggum good look of it. 2nd and 15 coming up now, but referee had a really good look. It was right in front of him, so he was out of bounds. Made a great effort to catch that football. Throwing here on second down. Rolling out to his right. Pass broken up. He had a receiver open, and we're going to go to replay. It was Jason Sanford who was open, but coming in on coverage was Dijon Sanders. He had a big interception game 2 last year, or 2 weeks ago, and does a great job of breaking up that pass. Arnaud did not do his receiver a service by just kind of hanging him out there to dry, and that made it very easy for Sanders to come in and knock the ball loose. All you have to do is kind of hit the guy around the waist to get your hands up there, and life and limb is now at risk. Arnaud throwing here on third down. He's going to be sacked! He's going to be sacked, and the man who came off the field a little bit shaken up in game 2 is the man to come back up, R.B. Wilson, with an excellent sack, and that was a team of Marauders, but they're at the bottom of the pile. That was 44. Sack on the quarterback, and we have fourth down coming out, and we'll see which team comes out onto the field. And they're going to go for it here on fourth. Makes you wonder what kicking unit they have. They went for it on fourth in a short situation, were able to convert, but this is now 4th and 15. Mind you, 6 minutes on the clock here in the first quarter remaining. That doesn't change much in terms of the end of the game. Arnaud is going for it here on fourth down, looking to see if they can do it, and that's going to be a turnover on downs no matter how you cut it. And maybe the idea was that, well, we can either try to punt it to the 1-yard line or we can just give it to them on the 20. Either way, Marauders now going to take over at the 21-yard line. They will have 79 yards to go to try and get a touchdown here. Back out onto the field will be Darius Warren. Beautiful Saturday afternoon, and the lights are finally on. Throwing here to near side and making a move and cutting inside again is Robinson Reese, and he's been a huge part of this offense. Finally getting thrown out of bounds just shy of the first down. Will be at the 29-yard line. Robinson Reese, huge component of this offense, and he, I think, kind of had a breakout game week 2 when we were covering the Mount San Jacinto game. He obviously had the most highlight catch probably of the season in the back of the end zone from Warren. Warren faking the throw. There's a flag out on the field, and he'll have the first down barring what the flag is, though it is behind the line of scrimmage. I'm wondering if there is a defensive hold or something. I'm trying to see what the referees are going with it, and I see illegal formation as the call. So this ball's coming back 5 yards. So it'll be a 5-yard penalty. So the penalty will be assessed 5 yards. So second and medium coming up, second and 7, and there's another flag out. I think this one was a false start, but I'm not entirely sure. Yeah, false start called on the offense. So what could have been a good start to a drive is now working out to be a bad start to a drive. Obviously in the first possession of the game after the interception. Hit and, well, under pressure over the middle. And the ball was on the ground, so incomplete pass here. Sorry, sorting out a little bit of information on the back end here. The Marauders in a hole. Henderson has done a good job of punting this year, pinning teams back behind the 10-yard line, but this will be from roughly his goal line if they do get to the fourth down situation. 3rd and long, 11 coming up, throwing here on 3rd down, and that's not going to be enough. All the way up to, they'll mark it at the 25. So 4th down coming up. Good catch. What I believe would be his first catch of the season. Is Iverson Daniels. So Henderson out on the field, stands around his 10-yard line. Low snap, but a beautiful, oh my goodness, beautiful spiraling punt all the way down. And will it roll into the end zone? No, it does not. They are able to pin the Lancers down by the 1-yard line. Oh my goodness, let's get a replay of that. This is, you don't see this very often. That is an excellent job of a punt. John Henderson, what an incredible play. That is what you want to do on special teams, and that's a highlight tape you're gonna want to send out. I cannot believe we just saw that from the 10-yard line. That was punted. That was punted 83 yards. Check that, 87 yards. They're going to spot it on the, or 86. Okay, 86. It was punted 86 yards from the 10-yard line all the way down to the 4. And this is pinning the Lancers deep in their own end zone. They'll hand it off here on 1st down, trying to make a move and driving forward. Looks to be Isaac Glover. Hard to tell from the angle here. I'll try to get a number to you. Now it is Glover. Second down and 5 coming up from the 9-yard line. Line to gain will be the 14. So a little bit more breathing room. 2 receivers out to the right, what looks to be a slot receiver out to the left, 1 in motion. They'll see if they go with the jet sweep. They don't go with the jet sweep look. Hit and tackled at the line, might have enough. And they're going to say he's at the 14-yard line. They were not able to stop him. So Isaac Glover able to work out the 1st down here for the Lancers. So a little bit more breathing room. Again, the Marauders defense really good in the red zone this year, though they have given up a lot of yards in the middle of the field. Despite the score lines, if you've actually paid attention closely, they've been able to stifle a lot of stuff. Goes with the jet sweep again to Austin. Austri is going to be hit hard, and I'm going to see a whistle and a fumble, and that might have been recovered by the Marauders, and the referee is saying it was. I don't know where the football came out. We're looking at it from this angle. Let's go ahead and roll that back one more time, Shalette. So there's the football in his hands, and Ivan Austri has possession, and there's, oh, the ball's going to come out right here. Yes, it does. And it's going to be stripped out of his hands and actually taken. He loses the ball before his knee touches the ground, and the Marauders gifted an opportunity here deep in their in Lancer territory. Handoff here on first down to Bankhead. Bankhead only able to get about 2 yards. Check that. That's not Bankhead. That looks like Q Allen. And it is. Handoff here on second down. Allen right into the pile, and he's going to go nowhere. Third down, and he got 1 out of it, so third down and 7 now coming up. Check that. No, he didn't get 1, so it'll be 3rd and 8. 2:06 on the clock. Darius Warren out of the gun. Receivers to his left side, looking to throw left, hesitates, throws into the end zone and overthrown. He had a wide open receiver. Oh, goodness. Shamir Washington was wide open on this one. We'll watch this again. He goes with the pump fake. He looks off the defensive back, comes back, and Washington was wide open. Oh, it's just overthrown. He's just going to want that one back. But you know what? That was a good look here on offense from the Marauders. Here comes Henderson out for the field goal attempt. This will be taken from the 22-yard line, making it a 32-yard field goal attempt. Kick is blocked. And this is going to be recovered regardless, but it's going to be recovered. And no 3 points. So the kick attempt, no good. Lancers able to recover all the way out to their 29-yard line. And the 4th offensive possession here for the Lancers will begin with 1:34 here left on the clock in the first quarter. One slot receiver to the left of the line, and that's a false start. False start on the outside. That was Daniel Schwam again. That's the second time he's going to be called for a false start, and he comes out. Shotgun snap, hand it off, and this is Elliott making his way to the left side, and he's going to be lucky to get a yard out of it. And there's a flag out on the field again, thrown right at the feet of safety. Trying to figure out who is out on the field. Cameron Carlisle is thrown at the feet of Carlisle around the 35-yard line. We'll see what is called. For now, it was just a gain of 1 up to the 25. So we're seeing a personal foul for a face mask now, so things getting a little bit chippy down on the field, and that will be another penalty assessed. I don't know if it's a dead ball penalty, but regardless, it's going to be a lot after the 5-yard penalty and now a 15. Spotted back at the 13-yard line. First down now here for the Lancers. Making a move and trying to cut inside. He was doing a little spin move there, was Ivan Austri. Group tackle. small gain, but they have a lot of space to play with here. From now the 16-yard line, second. And what we will call is 29. Check that 23. Bunch receivers on the left side. They're going to choose to run it that way as well, and that was well picked up by the defensive line of the Marauders. Isaac Glover got nowhere with that run. You'll see him just meet a line. They had the extra package there on the left side for the A-gap to try and get opened up, but the receivers kind of ran out past the offensive line, and there was nowhere to go. And the end of the first half is upon us. So, one touchdown, a lot of action, a blocked field goal attempt, and an interception and a fumble by way of the Lancers. We're going to take a break here. We'll be right back in the with the remainder of the first half. You're watching Coast Network and SoCal College sports coverage of Marauder football. And we're back with the second half action. A long throw attempt, intercepted again! And Arnaud tried to go deep here on third down as they had a lot of the field to make up, and running back and trying to get back towards the end zone is Ethan John with possibly one of the biggest interceptions of the season. Something is screwed up with our replay, but we will get that squared away in a second. I apologize, would love to watch that back, but what an incredible job by the defensive unit tonight. Ethan John with the interception, handing it off here on first down. Bankhead hits the line, fighting for more yards, and he's pushing forward. And he keeps pushing forward. And we'll take you to that interception in just a second. Taking the direct snap and running forward from the quarterback position is Callan Crawford, able to get a gain of 4. But here we go. We're going to cut to the replay of the interception right here as it plays out. And they're just trying to go deep with this, and he was thrown into triple coverage, and Austrie was the intended target, but coming over was Ethan. He saw the whole field in his way and said, give me some, I want some of them yards, and maybe 6 points to go with it. Enabled to get back, and we're going to have no penalty, but we're going to have a timeout called by the Marauders for having extra personnel out on the field. So, nope, no. One of the offensive linemen, I'm going to try and get a number to you in a second. He has the wrong helmet out on the field. And, well, that would kind of cause a problem. Luckily, they were able to call a timeout and get it situated. And I think he might have a different name. This is... Well, listed as 92 is Gavin Rowell, who's a kicker for the Marauders, but that is not Gavin Rowell. Different guy from the offensive line. I'm not entirely sure who that is, but he looks big. Maybe Joshua Rogers. I will have to sort that out in a minute, but he's got a different helmet on. It's a white helmet. Regardless, the Marauders on the doorstep again after many miscues here from the Lancers on the offensive side of the ball. Warren, out of the gun, hands it off to Bankhead. Bankhead looking for some yards, cuts back inside. He's coming towards the middle of the field. It's an end zone touchdown! Touchdown Marauders, and Bankhead has one of the best runs of his season. A very patient run it was, but wow, look at him cut back inside and comes into the end zone. Touchdown Marauders! And they take the second touchdown of the game, and it's 13-0 with 12:57 left to go here in the first half. And the Marauders gifted two, well, check that, 3 opportunities. They were able to make good on 2 of them. Extra point, up and good. So Henderson 2 for 2 on extra points, 0 for 1 on field goals today. Was blocked the first time. So that was all set up from the interception from Ethan John. And he is happy to have his first interception of the season, so happy to do it. Remember, Marauder Football is brought to you in part by Fonder Solari and BHE Renewables. First half, helping make these broadcasts possible. Remember, that's Fonder Solari and BHE Renewables. In the medical space. And the kick is up. Fielded around the 5-yard line, and Austri is coming back, trying to make another move, and he's down on the near sideline after a gain of, well, we'll call that almost 20 yards. He had an 18-yard return. And the Lancers will get an opportunity for their 5th offensive possession of the game. They've not yielded anything positive other than momentum down the field, but every single time they've gotten close. First possession was an interception. Second possession was a 4-and-out with a at the 21-yard line. So it was turned over. And the third possession was a fumble. Fourth, obviously, intercepted. That's what we just watched. And they'll go with their 5th possession of the game. Handoff to Isaac Glover. Able to make 2 yards. He was hit well behind the line of scrimmage, but able to get something out of it. Up to the 30-yard line. To recap, the Marauders' first possession after the interception from... The interception was from Cameron Carlisle. Able to turn it into a touchdown. Elijah Steele making the catch there. Punted on the second possession. They attempted to kick after the fumble, but it was blocked, and the Lancers were able to retain possession. And then there was a touchdown from Bankhead after the recent touchdown you just watched. So now that we're recapped, Arnaud looking to throw here on second down, fires it down the field, trying to find his wide open receiver. It was Oscar Willis, but he was not able to get to the football in time. And if we watch that back, you'll see he's trying to make a move, and he had a couple Marauders in his face, and he's just throwing up a sky ball. He was open. Willis was open back there, but the ball was thrown way too far. Or no. Throwing here on third down. Under pressure. Fires. Has Austri, and Austri reaching for the goal line. That was a great attempt for a first down, and I think they'll have it. Referee is calling for it to be a first down. All the way up to the 38-yard line. That's what it's going to be. Great attempt. Staying up and not getting his knee to the ground. So able to get past the first series here. The Lancers now trying to make a drive out of this. In the background, you'll hear the Marauders band playing from the sideline. Arnaud gets a snap into his waist, and I don't think he was expecting the snap, and he just kind of handles the football. Tough little tight battle there on the far sideline. That pass is broken up. More or less falls incomplete. But 14-0 with 11:21 here to go in the first half. Second and 10 coming up, and I will say the Lancers have been reluctant to try and kick punts. So we'll see on at least the drives that they got to third down. They have refused to do so. Pass to the tight end, and this is Cameron Woods. He's broken free, and he's running forward. He's got another touchdown. Check that, not touchdown. Getting Texan trying to think. Got another first down, and that was a strong run from Cameron Woods. Got defensive players all over him. Maybe that could open up something within the Lancers game. First down, they are on the Marauders' 43-yard line. One in the slot, one to the right. Spread out. He's on the near side just by the hash. Arnaud looking left, trying to throw over the center of the field, and he had an open receiver, Oscar Willis, and that's the second time he's going to kind of want one back. He was open. Right off of his chest pad. Second down and 10 coming up, and it looks like the throwing game is starting to open up a little bit. The Marauders, though, have been able to kind of adjust as the game goes on. We've seen it happen a couple times, especially against Canyons game 1. Arnaud. Heavy offensive set ready. Looking to throw here on second down, rolling out far side, throwing across his body, trying to find a receiver, and that was an incomplete pass, broken up. Daniel Schwam was the intended receiver, and he's down on the ground. And he was hit low. There is a flag out. I'm going to say it's probably for a hit below the waist. And I think that's a 15-yard penalty, but I'm not entirely sure if it's a spot foul. But that will move the football up 15 yards, regardless. Lancers finally coming up with a drive of their own. So there's 2 fouls on the play, both against the defense, and we were able to kind of sort that out. I believe they accepted, I think it was a pass interference, which is a spot foul, but regardless, ball is going to be placed well within Marauder territory down into the red zone. And they're going to mark it down at what looks to be the 14-yard line. So the Lancers now with a huge opportunity, first time inside of the red zone in this half. We'll check that in the game. looking to maybe convert it now. They have a heavy offensive line, 3 receivers to the left, 1 to the right. Throwing towards the corner, they have an open running back, and that was out of the backfield, Joaquin Elliott, all the way down to the 2-yard line. Elliott just doing a great job of sticking with the football there. Sun is going down, and it's finally getting the overhead lights to do some of their magic and get the sun back onto the field while the sky is dark. First and goal coming up, and we have a timeout called. This is a great opportunity to give a great shout out to Tony Barbones, friends with SoCal College Sports for a long time. Tony Barbones was the athletic director over at Pasadena City College and, well, longtime color commentator during the baseball tournament for the 3C2A, and just a overall great sports mind in the 3C2A. He's been a instrumental part of college athletics, especially for Pasadena City College, coaching all over the NCAA as well. And the Marauders with their second big ask of the day. The first time the Lancers had driven all the way down to the 30-yard line, though the ball was turned over. That was on the second drive from the Lancers. Now the Lancers right on the doorstep, and the Marauders need to come up with something big here. Or no. Out of the gun. Looking to throw here on first down and goal. From the 3-yard line, throwing into the back of the end zone. That's thrown well through the back of the end zone. Incomplete pass. That stops the clock at 9:49. So second and we'll call it 2 coming up from the 2-yard line. One has to think, being such a run, an equal opportunity team here, Isaac Glover or Joaquin Elliott are going to be potentially taking the ball and trying to run it towards the end zone. Isaac Glover, the running back, out on the field now. Arnaud out of the gun, chooses to hand it off. Glover into the end zone. He has enough. That's a touchdown for the Lancers. So they are able to get their first points on the board, and you'll get to see it just from field level now. Able to stretch forward. So the Lancers happy with their 5th offensive possession of the game. And I have to say, that was 100% set up by the tight end, Cameron Woods, with his large catch and run, as we watched earlier. Here comes the point after attempt from Justin Vergara. Kick is up and good. So 7 points on the board. Isaac Glover. And we have a football game going on here in Lancaster.
Actually, no, I'll wait till after halftime because
So the Marauders set to receive now with another opportunity to try and put points on the board. They did win the coin toss, so they will defer to the second half, and that's going to be at least a benefit here as this second quarter starts to tick down. Vergara's kick going to the back of the end zone, and the other returner for the Marauders set to take the football. It was Kayron Benz. with the return here. Back up to the 20-yard line. But there is a flag actually out on the field, so we'll see exactly what this is called for. An illegal block in the back, and that's going to be called against the Marauders. That's a 10-yard penalty assessed at the end of the run. So they got up to the 21-yard line. They will now take it from the 11. Line to gain will be the 21. Won't be the first time that the Marauders have been asked to drive the length of the field. And we will get set and ready to go as Warren brings his team out onto the field. Warren hands it off here, first down. And Bankhead's going to be hit at the line of scrimmage and drop for a loss here. Looks like there's just good penetration here from the Lancers on the defensive side of the game. And Luis Canales, he's kind of leading the charge there. He's one of your just defensive linemen, kind of lined up as a nose tackle. They have a 3-man front that they're playing. Check that 4-man. Yeah, so defensive lineman. Not your end, but, I mean, he's lined up. He was the reason why that totally broke down. Warren under pressure immediately. He's going to be hit. And they're trying to push him into the end zone, and he will be stopped right before the end zone line. And this is potentially a disastrous drive here for the Marauders as it kicks to third down. And this is a lot of loss. Remember, the original line of scrimmage was around the 11-yard line. Now this is third and what looks like 16 to go. The official board says 18. We'll see, but third and a lot. Warren has to protect the football here. In the gun, hands it off. Bankhead finds a hole, running to the left side, and he's going to have some space. This is at least going to give Henderson a chance to kick the football, and that was a good job to get the team at least in a position so they could punt. Henderson running out onto the field. And the Marauders just able to get out of there, and that was all to the work of Bankhead. Punt is up. This time it's not the spiraler that we saw earlier to the 50-yard line. So Lancers set to take over at the 50. We'll take a quick break and we'll be right back. 7:26 on the clock. Marauders 14, Lancers 7. Back. Lancers with their 6th drive, fighting for more yards, and a great run by Isaac Glover. Referee's going to say he was all the way up to the 42-yard line. Huge ask here for the Marauders defense. They've been out on the field quite a bit today. Regardless, 6:55 on the clock ticking down. Lancers have figured out something that works. A couple major miscues early on in this game. Or no. 5-step drop and a flag out on the field in the area of what seems to be a hold on the offensive line, and that was to Cameron Woods, the tight end. He's finally brought down. I don't think that's going to be staying back there. for the call from the white hat. There's going to be a personal foul, so not a hold. Though I think the penalty would be declined, and so that'll be a first down from the 22-yard line. Cameron Woods. Good catch and reception. Arnaud on the doorstep once again, deep into the red zone. He has his running back to his right. They're on the left hash, 3 receivers to his right. In the shotgun, throws over to his right, and they're going to try with Elliott once again. He was able to get a nice run all the way down to the 1-yard line the last time. Gets a good chunk yards of 5 this time, and they're trying to make it even 14-14 if they can. So trips left. Woods is the tight end here on the heavy set offensive line. Arnaud looking to throw here on second down. Rolling out towards his right side, trying to loft it towards the end zone. That was thrown well out of bounds. I don't know if that was just a throw it because I can, but that is what he did. Clock stopped at 5:17. Third down situation, you'd have to imagine they would go for it on 4th here. They did it a couple times previous. Very aggressive so far tonight on offense. Again, heavy offensive line set with the tight end on the field. Arnaud looking to throw towards the right side, and there was no receiver home, and it was thrown out of bounds. I don't know if that was a design play and the receiver ran the wrong route. And there's going to be a flag for intentional grounding because there was nobody in the way. Can we roll back one more time? I'm sorry, Shalette. No receiver at home. I mean, that was completely confusing. I think I see the kicking unit out on the field, but yeah, that's going to be intentional grounding all day long. Nobody even remotely close to the area. So 4th and 11 coming up here, and a major miscue on offense here on the 6th drive of the game. They're going to attempt, if it's what it appears, a 30-yard field goal from the 20-yard line. On to kick is Justin Vergara. No kicks missed today due to conditions. We did have the blocked kick earlier, but this is a little bit different. So the first opportunity here to kick, high snap, and it looks like it might be a fake opportunity or maybe a misplay, throwing deep towards the end zone, and this would be either intercepted or out of bounds. Either way, a turnover, and not the way that the Lancers wanted it to go this way. So the Marauders come up with the football, and that will be a turnover on downs, incomplete pass. Yeah, I don't know if that was a bad snap or what. You guys saw it just the same way that I did, so turnover on downs, and this will begin a 6th possession here for the Marauders as they will get the football from the 20-yard line. Direct snap, and this is going to be a little toss towards the outside. I think it's Reese trying to make his way out of bounds. Check that bankhead. Towards the near side, maybe a gain of 2. We'll see. They do. They call it a gain of 2 all the way up to the 22-yard line. That was a direct snap, again, to Callan Crawford. who remains out on the field. And Crawford stays in at quarterback position. I don't know if Warren is out for some reason. He is standing with his helmet off on the sideline for now. Crawford hands off to Bankhead again. Bankhead finds a hole in the middle. Bankhead all the way up to the 40-yard line, and he's going to be brought down at the 42, 43. First down, Marauders, and that was a well-designed play. You watch the B-gap just open right up here, and Bankhead cuts inside, makes a move, and there was all kinds of blocks downfield. Beautiful 20-yard run. Check that 21-yard line, or 21-yard run, because it was from the 21, or 22. Where the line of scrimmage was. So 1st and 10, line to gain will be the 47-yard line. Throw here on 1st down, and that will be his first throw of the season. Crawford in at quarterback. So the 3rd quarterback of the season to play here for the Marauders, and they may have found a potential gem in Crawford. Not that they wouldn't have known about it. Elijah Steele had the touchdown earlier. That was his catch for 6 yards. 2nd and 4 now coming up. 3:27 on the clock, and clock maybe becoming a little bit of an issue here as we head towards the end of the first half. Bankhead rushing forward. He gets hit and he's down, but he drops the football after he's down. So not a turnover. You see guys diving on the football there, but he was down by contact first. First down coming up, 45 from the 45-yard line of the Lancers. Crawford still in as quarterback, and I don't see any movement from any of the other guys who have played quarterback this season. Hinton has been playing linebacker today, so I would imagine that he's going to stay in at that position and not go back to the quarterback role. Crawford out of the gun with Bankhead to his left. Chooses the read option, tries to do a fake toss to Bankhead. They weren't buying it all the way up maybe a yard, and they'll say he had a yard out of it, but he ended up falling behind the line of scrimmage. Forward progress up to the 44-yard line. Crawford working on a very good drive if this is his first drive of the season, which the stat line would presume so. Not his first snap per se, but definitely his first drive of the season, and there's going to be a flag for a false start here on 2nd down. So 5 yards will bring it back to the 49-yard line. .218 on the clock. The clock will continue to run. Again, 2 minutes now potentially becoming an issue. Under the blitz immediately, Crawford trying to hold on to the football, and he's going to be hit, and we will wait for the whistle. He's going to be dropped for a loss. 3rd down and a long coming up here. 1:58 ticking down, and now the Marauders have to be thinking about hopefully mitigating a disaster here. Though Henderson has been unbelievable this season on spotting the football on punts. Saw that earlier with his 87-yarder down to the 3-yard line from the 10. Crawford still in. Trips to his left, one to his right. He's got Bankhead to his left. Fakes the handoff, chooses to keep it himself. He's going to be hit at the line and maybe get 1 or 2 yards out of it, but he was roughed up as he came down to the ground. You have multiple whistles. So 4th down coming up. I see referees talking here in the middle, and it looks like the Whitecap is going to say something. And that's going to be a timeout called. I'm not entirely sure, actually, because I see different units coming out on the field, and I still see the offensive unit of the Marauders out on the field as well. But we have 4th down from the 48-yard line of the Marauders. It's a timeout called, and I wonder if the Marauders are thinking about going for it here with 1:14 on the clock. Though traditional football logic would say punt it and make them try to go the length of the field with 1 minute to go. And no, Henderson out on the field. The punting unit is out here for the Marauders. Decent crowd here tonight at Marauder Stadium. Henderson, punt is up, and it's a nice one out. It's going to land around the 20-yard line. We'll see. It bounced around the 25, and they'll say it's out around the 24. So, yeah, traditional football would suggest that you want to make them try to drive the length of the field, and at this point it'll be 75 yards with 1 minute and 7 seconds on the clock. That's 76 yards. Henderson with a decent punt. Lancers will start their 7th drive of the game. They drove all the way down to the red zone of the Marauders the last time they had the football, but turned it over on downs while trying to execute a kick. Arnaud running near or far side and trying to throw a little short pass, but he was incomplete down the left side. Intended for Isaiah Smalls. So 2nd and 10 coming up. Incomplete pass leaves the clock at 1:01. They have been throwing the football a whole lot this afternoon, and I'll check with the halftime score or stats once we get them. But they've been attempting to throw the football a lot here in the first half, and they choose to go on the ground here in a big run. And that finally moved the football up. The clock will continue to run from Joaquin Elliott as he's able to get 6 yards out of it. And now you see the coaches on the sideline saying speed it up. They're trying to go no huddle here as they have a set of plays dialed up. 47 seconds now ticking down. And time will become a factor here as Arnaud is in the gun. Almost under 40. Now 40 seconds, Arnaud in the gun. Stepping back, looking to throw. He's looking over the field, and he's under pressure. He's under pressure. He's going to throw on the run, and he's going to hit a receiver who's going to be knocked down, and with the reception, this is a beautiful catch along the outside. Now, he was not knocked out of bounds, and making the reception was Jason Sanford, but we will see if they choose to call a timeout here. 32 seconds on the clock. Pasadena still has 2 timeouts, and that was a great job of staying in bounds and coming back towards the football there for the Lancers and Jason Sanford. So clock has stopped. Timeout called. Pasadena still with plenty of time to march down the field. Though you would have to imagine it's all going to be throwing attempts at this point. Big opportunity on both sides of the football right now. The defense has a chance to stop them and get out of this half with the lead. 14-7 is the score. Out of the pistol. Hands it off here on 1st down and making a run towards the edge was Isaac Glover. He does get out of bounds. Clock stopped at 24-6. And I see a flag out on the field. Maybe a hit after he was out of bounds. Yeah, well, if it was for him being out of bounds, I don't know. That doesn't look like it was too late. Can we roll that back from the top angle, Shalette? So out of the pistol, you see him hand it off. running towards the edge, and I'm trying to see where the penalty would have been picked up. He wasn't hit out of bounds. The flag was back, and it's going to be a hold against the Lancers. That would make more sense, just based on the location of the actual penalty itself. Just trying to make sure, but this very well could end the drive for the Lancers, as it's back to their own 35-yard line now. Line to gain will be the 47 of the Marauders with 24 seconds to go. But Arnaud has been dangerous with his arm tonight. He's going to choose to keep it, and he runs right into the defensive lineman. And that was Ethan Estrella, who he kind of runs right into Estrella. I don't know where Arnaud was planning on going with it, but that'll be the final play of the half. Halftime score, 14-7. Marauders leading it off of a whole bunch of miscues here from the Lancers. And we have an exciting second half dialed up and ready to go. You guys are watching SoCal College sports coverage of Marauder football on the Coast Sports Network. Stay here, everybody.
We started the Community Athletic Project back in 2018, and it was a way for us to give back to the community, the young people of the community. This golf tournament is this golf tournament gives us an opportunity to say thank you to everybody, to say thank you for being a part of this. Let's get out and have a good time playing some golf and have fun and enjoy ourselves and have a communal opportunity to say thank you.
And we got some perfect weather for it.
Absolutely. You know, last year we had 115 degrees. This year we're at 80, and it's beautiful and nice little breeze.
We're back here for second half action as the second half will begin momentarily. Now, the Marauders did win the coin toss, so they have deferred, and they will receive the football now here to start the second half. There's Robinson Reese. Some last-second warm-ups in. Couple stats here from the first half to kind of keep in mind. 10 first downs from Pasadena City. They're really able to move the football. 5 coming by way of the passing and 4 coming by way of rushing. Total plays is 41 as opposed to 25 for Antelope Valley, even though Antelope Valley leads at 14-7. Total yards is 178, and through the air it's 122. So they've been moving the football through the air. The Lancers, that is, through the air. 82 total yards for Antelope Valley, so they've been able to be extremely efficient, though net passing they have about 30 yards. We will get ready and set to go here for the second half. Again, this has been some good football we've watched tonight. A little bit sloppy, but nonetheless, we are happy to watch a back and forth game. I think both teams just causing problems for each other. Remember, this half of football is brought to you by Fonder Solari and BHE Renewables, proud sponsors of Antelope Valley College Athletics. And we will get ready to get things going. Robinson Reese out to return here for the Marauders. And he'll have beside him is Kayron Benz as the Lancers get set to go. 6 total possessions here for the Marauders, 7 possessions for the Lancers, and the 7th possession went nowhere as they were hit with a penalty there as they're driving down the field with 1 minute remaining, trying to get things set and ready to go, and we will get going on the third quarter momentarily. But you're watching SoCal College sports coverage of 3C2A football, Marauder football. Robinson Reese takes it at the 5-yard line, driving down to the 20. And check that wasn't Robinson Reese. That was Benz. So Benz from the left side took it from the 5 all the way up to, I think he made it to the 20. That's where the line judge is marking it. So back up to the 20. It's a 15-yard return, and we'll get things going. 14:55 left on the clock. 14-7 is the score. Marauders lead it after one half of football. And we will see which offensive unit comes out on the field. Now, we had Darius Warren in at quarterback to start the game, and they were able to score 2 touchdowns with him at the helm. However, a little bit of a change was made, and we are seeing another number out there in the quarterback role. So I trying to coordinate. Nope, it's going to be Robinson Reese breaking free of a tackle. He's trying to make a move and get back up to the 20-yard line. He might have a yard out of it. So Darius Warren is in at quarterback here for the Marauders. So for a little bit there, they were having Crawford as the quarterback, but it would appear that Warren is back in, and Q Allen is in as the single back for the Marauders. 2-by-2 spread looking like what they're going to be running here. Typical offense for the Marauders. 2nd and 9 now coming up. Clock is ticking down. Warren, 16 seconds here on the play clock. Out of the gun. Allen in motion. Warren looking to throw here, and he's going to be wrapped up and brought down. It's going to be a loss of yards. We'll see if they call him back to the original line of scrimmage. It just might be a half-yard loss. So 1.5-yard loss there on the sack. And not the start to the drive that they wanted. Back to the original line of scrimmage. Now 3rd and 10 coming up. Handles the snap. Throwing here on 3rd down, and he had a wide open receiver who would have had at least enough yards to get up to the line, and it was Elijah Steele. There to make the catch, but he dropped it. Pass is broken up, and we will head to 4th down. The punting unit back out on the field here for the Marauders. Now to return the punt will be Ivan Austrie. Austrie had a couple returns earlier in the game. Nothing seriously of note, just 15 to 20 yards. This ball will fall around the 45-yard line of the Lancers and roll down to the 33. So Henderson with another good punt. The 7th drive of the game for the Marauders will go unanswered. No points on the board. So punt to the 33 from Henderson. Pasadena City College. We'll start their 8th. And they will stick with Anthony Arnaud. Here in the pistol formation, 2-by-2 spread, puts Austrie in motion. They choose to hand it off, and he's been getting a couple yards today already. Isaac Glover with another hard run. Able to turn out 7 there, all the way up to the 40. Line to gain will be the 43-yard line, and it's 13:04 on the clock, ticking down. As I see it, the Marauders defense has been able to create a lot of miscues here. However, a lot of the issues that the Lancers had earlier on today in the game were coming by their own accord. However, the 2 interceptions completely at the part of the Marauders defense, as well as the fumble recovery. The football is stripped out. Bad snap, and it's going to be handled directly to Jacob Doolittle. Now, he has a couple snaps in at quarterback this season, 15-6 through the air, and he's going to choose to keep it, but he was not able to convert all the way down to the 42-yard line. He stays in as the quarterback for the Lancers. So new quarterback in. Line to gain again, the 43. They're at the 42-yard line. Clock is now ticking down, almost to 12 minutes here left in the 3rd quarter. Pistol formation once again. So Arnaud is out and in with Doolittle. Doolittle with a man in motion, hands it off again, and that's going to be a 1st down and more from Isaac Glover, who's made his way all the way to the 40, mark it 6, maybe 7-yard line. We'll mark it 47-yard line for Glover. And a big 1st down conversion there on the first 3rd down test on their 8th drive of the football game. Dragging all kinds of Marauders on him.
Yeah, is it, can you see on your feet, is it still kind of cutting in and out like that?
At 15 rushing attempts for 56 yards in the first half, so not too terrible, but split between 2 running backs. Austrie in motion, choose to go again to Glover. Glover doing most of the carrying there in the first half. He had 8 carries for 36 yards, averaging 4.5 yards a carry. 2nd and 8 coming up from the 45 of the Marauders. If the defense can get a breakup or a tackle behind the line of scrimmage here, that would bode well, though. Again, remember, the Lancers have been going for it quite often here on 4th down, so no fear in that regard, especially in kind of no man's land of the middle of the field. Quarterback keeper, Austrie was the fake handoff, and this is exactly what the Marauders want to do here on 2nd down. So no gain on the play. That will be right back up to the line of the scrimmage. And it would appear that Doolittle just went nowhere. He kind of met by a whole bunch of bodies in the way. So 3rd and now 8 coming up. I will say Arnaud was a little bit quicker back in the pocket. He was willing to open up the field by going far side or near side, depending on wherever he had to run to avoid the coverage. That being said, they choose to go with the hot hand. It makes you wonder, what is Arnaud doing on the sideline at this time? Doolittle doing a good job with the first drive, though, of this game for himself. Chooses to fake the handoff, going to throw here on 3rd down. They got no receivers open, and there was a little bit of a hand fight down the field. He was looking for an intended receiver along the right hash, and I believe that was Jason Sanford. Jason Sanford not anywhere near the football. It was well overthrown. That's been the case a couple times tonight for the Lancers. Punting unit out on the field, and you hear the band of the Marauders kicking off, and a good crowd here watching tonight's game as the beams of light are coming down from the light poles. At the 41-yard line, punt is up and away. Robinson Reese out to return the punt, and this takes a big bounce, and they're trying to keep it in play, and they might have been able to pin him back out the 1. We'll see exactly where they call it, and they do. So a punt all the way down to the 1-yard line. They chose not to return it, and that might have been a problem, as it wasn't Robinson Reese out to return. Check that. It was somebody completely different. Jason Sanders. I was trying to check for a number there. I couldn't tell on the jersey until I watched it back on my feed. So 14-7 is the scoreline from the 1-yard line. The game will be the 11, and the Marauders with a huge task here as we see Warren out on the field again. So Warren will be at the helm here for this drive. They will be on their 8th drive of the season and down at their own 1-yard line. This is a do-or-die situation. Warren hands it off to Bankhead. Bankhead finds a hole, and he's able to punch through all the way up to the 9-mark at 11-yard line. That might be a first down, and we'll see if the referee points. He does. First down from Bankhead, and a great run, just trying to hit the hole hard, and he did. And there was a lot of infighting there on the offensive line, and a great job. Let's just give a hat tip to the offensive line of the Marauders there, because they made that run possible just by opening up that hole. And Bankhead, all he had to do was kind of jump over the trench line that was built there. From the 11-yard line, the game will be the 21. Darius Warren out of the gun, 3 receivers to his left, 1 to his right. Chooses to hand it off to Bankhead again. Bankhead finds another hole, and he's going to be up to the 15 mark at the 20-yard line, and a big run again. He's got another first down, and here comes the chains moving once again all the way up to the 23-yard line. Line to gain again will change. We will get that updated now. 33-yard line. Warren standing with his hands on his hips, ready to go. Bankhead, 2 huge runs here in the first half. And if you do by comparison, they were trying to throw the football quite a bit there in the first half. They had 17 rushing attempts for 52 yards. So they're trying to keep it even, and they did rush the football all right in the first half, but the Marauders really fell short on a lot of their drives trying to throw the football. Here we go. Looking to throw here on first down. Warren running, trying to throw, and I don't know if he was to the line of scrimmage. He wasn't, and that's a catch and a reception, and a beautiful one at that. Matthew Flores able to catch and move the football. Another first down, and the Marauders are driving here on their 8th drive of the game. 8:30 on the clock, ticking down. And Matthew Flores has, I believe, his first catch of the game. Let me check the stat line for you. Yeah, that is his first catch of the game. And we have a Marauder player down. We'll try to get a number to you in a minute here, but looks like he's trying to grab some air. I'm not sure who it is.
It's the guy who made the catch. It's the guy who made the catch. The receiver.
It would appear that the guy on the ground is Matthew Flores. He stands up and walks off on his own power, but might have had the wind knocked out of him or something. Regardless, we will get back going after the brief injury timeout. The referee is calling for the players to get back up to the line. Coach is still trying to give out some last-second commands. Darius Warren having a decent time on this drive. Split backs with him. He has one man in motion, chooses to hand it off to Bankhead. Bankhead trying to find the edge, and he's going to be hitting the face mask, and he falls down, and here comes the long flag, and that's going to be a face mask immediately. I don't know if we'll be able to see it from our back-end camera, but this is a good angle to watch him run. Oh, yeah, yes, you do. And that was a blatant flag on the face mask there, and I believe it was number 5 of the Pasadena City Lancers. Yeah, Marcus Anderson, he's got the most tackles on the season for the Lancers so far, and so that's going to be a 15-yard penalty assessed from the play. First down here for the Marauders, and they will continue their drive. The conversation about conversation about penalties was kind of a even spread. We had 4 penalties for 37 yards from Pasadena, whereas the Marauders had 5 penalties for 65 yards, not helping themselves that much there. Bankhead trying to bounce off a tackle, stays on his feet. He's running towards the near side, and he's going to try and jump up towards the line of scrimmage and at least get a yard. He's not going to get it. He's going to be back to the line of scrimmage, no loss on the play. So 42-yard line is where they're going to start with the football. And they're going to go 2nd and 10 now from the 42 again. Bankhead doing a good job of getting back to the line of scrimmage. He was wrapped up around his feet, but unable to tackle him. The defensive line did their best, but as we've seen all season, Bankhead able to kind of break tackles and be patient and try to find his holes. He does a great job of getting back to that line of scrimmage. Warren out of the gun again, 2-by-2 spread for the receivers. He's going to be throwing here on 2nd down, throws to the corner near side, and has a receiver who's getting some more chunk yards out of it, and that's going to be a 1st down as they try to strip it. And we'll see if they call a fumble recovery, and no. So the football was out there for a second. And that was Robert James with the reception. I believe jumping on the football was James. He had the football out for a second, but I think the offensive line was able to come and make a save there at the last final second. A heads-up play from the offensive lineman here for the Marauders. They've had a big part in this drive thus far, and things are moving deep towards the red zone here. Warren in the pistol formation. Hands it off. Bankhead here on 1st down. Cuts back outside. He's going out towards the edge. He's got 15, 10, 5. Is he going to get to the end zone? To the end zone, and they're going to mark him out at the 1-yard line. That was a tough run all the way to the edge, and you'll see it from the backside here. He initially tries to go for the right side, cuts back inside once he gets back to the line of scrimmage, and he's going to try and work his way all the way out, and he steps out of bounds reaching for the end zone, but a great solid run from Bankhead, and can they cap it off here with a touchdown? Marked down at the 1-yard line, the Marauders maybe with a huge statement here in the middle of the 3rd quarter. Warren hands it off to Bankhead into the end zone! Touchdown! Touchdown Marauders! 5:48 on the clock, and the 8th possession of the Marauders. Some may have said that they were able to do it earlier in the game based on the miscues of the Lancers, but this time the Marauders offense were able to score a touchdown from the running legs and efforts of Bankhead. And if you have any questions on who was responsible for that drive, that was all Bankhead. Warren able to do some things to extend plays, but gosh dang, strong plays from him. And the 1-yard rush for the touchdown will be for Bankhead. We did have a penalty at the end of the play, and I'm thinking it might be assessed at the end of the kick if it was a dead ball penalty. Personnel getting switched out and moved for the Marauders. So Bankhead with his 2nd touchdown of the game. John Henderson on to kick the extra point. As it stands, the score is 22-7. Kick is up and good. 21-7 is the scoreline. 5:48 on the clock, and the Marauders have a great 8th possession that went 99 yards, the entire length of the field. You remember that drive started with a rush from Bankhead on the 1-yard line that got them a 1st down and more, all the way up to the 11, and then he proceeded to rush all the way down the length of the field. At the end of this 3rd down, I'm going to see if I can get some stats because Bankhead had made a serious statement here in this 3rd quarter. See the kicking unit out on the field. So the penalty was against the Marauders, assessed back to the 20-yard line. Now, ordinarily I would say that's not a huge issue. However, that does aid the Lancers in getting some decent starting position in their next possession. 2 men back to receive. Back to receive is Austri, and he's been taking most of the returns. He'll handle it around the 30-yard line, come back to the 40. He's got a lot of speed, and he's going head forward all the way down to the 46-yard line. He'll be knocked down at the 46. 5:44 on the clock left to go. 21-7 the score. Marauders able to score on their last drive, and here we go. After 8 drives, the Pasadena City Lancers have not been able to score anything except for a touchdown, and it's been a rough go of it. However, this is an opportunity with great field position. They only have to march down the field 47 yards. So we will see who's in at quarterback again. This looks to be Doolittle once again. Puts Austri in motion. Doolittle hands it off, and that's going to be to Isaac Glover. He handled most of the snaps in their last series, last drive, which resulted in a punt. Down to the 45. Line to gain would be the 37-yard line. That's the way you want to start out your third quarter. The Marauders did just that. However, it was not necessarily the best start. They did punt in their first possession after receiving the kickoff, all the way down to the 33-yard line. Flags are out for a false start penalty, so 5 yards will be assessed from that. Back to the 50-yard line again. The 38, check that, 37-yard line. Deep in a hole here on second down. Doolittle in the pistol formation. Motions for Austri to come over. He does now. Goes back behind the line of scrimmage. And Doolittle's going to keep it himself. Trying to run towards the line of scrimmage. He's only going to get 1 yard out of it. Falls forward. They might give him 2. Didn't really have any running room at all. They do. They give him 2 yards. So now 3rd and 11 coming up. This is a little bit of a different dynamic, and I'm going to try my best to see if I can get eyes on Anthony Arnaud. Where is he standing, if he is standing on the sideline for the Lancers? Pistol formation once again. Doolittle puts another man in motion, fakes a handoff, looking to throw here on 3rd down. He's got a receiver, and that's Austri, who's going to be up to the 42-yard line, and that will be not enough. So 4th down coming up, but we'll see if the punting unit comes out. This is that situation that they were able to convert in their first possession of the game there early on in the first quarter. If you guys remember, they converted a 4th down that was roughly around the Marauders' 40-yard line. And if you're looking at the field right now, it would be right to left or left to right. It was the 40-yard line to the right side of the screen. And they're going to go for it here. 4th and 5 coming up with 3:33 left to go here in the third quarter. Austri in motion once again. Fakes the handoff, looking to throw here. Man, all in his face, and is he going to be able to get the reception? No, just out of the reach. And that was intended for Jason Sanford, their #1 receiver of the season so far, and he was not able to get there in time, but that was just out of his fingertips. I mean, he had a hand on it, and he's going to want that one back. Jacob Doolittle taking a shot down the field, not able to do it. And the defense holds strong here for the Marauders, maybe helped with a little bit of luck. Doolittle not able to convert nonetheless. We'll see Warren bring his team back out on the field again. Positive drive last time, and they'll get it with good field possession from the 42-yard line of their own half of the field. Trips receivers to his right as they're lined up on the right hash. One receiver out on the spread out left to the left. Here comes the blitz. They're trying to bring up the pressure, but it's picked up by the offensive line for now. Warren evading for now, and he's going to be hitting his feet, and he's got another man all over him, and now he's going to be gang tackled out by the 31-yard line, and that's a big loss here for the Marauders. Not the way you want to start on first down. He's trying to do his best to keep hold of the football. It was almost punched out there at the last second. You see a whole bunch of Lancers all over it. Offensive line held for a minute, but that was broken up quickly. Bankhead, not the single back. I believe it's Q Allen at this time. And Allen handles the football, but he's going to be hit behind the line of scrimmage for another loss, and this is going to be a big hindrance here on 3rd down for the Marauders. Third and almost 2019 coming up. Trips receivers out to the right, one to the left. On the left side of the hash, Warren in the gun has Allen to his right. Hands it off, Allen sweeping left side. He's trying to cut towards the far side edge, and he's going to be hit behind the line of scrimmage again. Another loss all the way down to the 30. Here comes the punting unit of the Marauders. So the Lancers will get their 10th opportunity to try and score with roughly 1 minute left on the clock here in the 3rd quarter, plus the 4th. Henderson's punt up into the 30. They're going to choose to return it. Joaquin Elliott making his way towards the far sideline. He's going to get up to the 34. They'll mark him at the 35. I thought he was a little shy of that. Well, the back judge had him at the 34, so we'll see exactly where they choose to spot the football. Back judge to the 35. And that's what we'll call it. So 1:11 on the clock here in the 3rd quarter. That does not change much in terms of time to play, even they'll have them marked out of the 33, so even better for the punting side of things from Henderson. Short return by Elliott, and they will stay with Doolittle under the helm here. Austri in motion, fakes a handoff here on 1st down, throws outside, and he's going to hit a receiver who's brought down with 9 yards on the play. They'll have him down. I'm trying to get a number for you, and I believe that was Jason Sanford. No, it was Kenneth Russell, receiver there. Close to a 1st down here, 2nd and 1. Taking the snap from the 42-yard line. Again will be the 43. Hands it off here on 2nd down, and they'll have that and more all the way up to the 48-yard line where Isaac Glover will be marked down. 28.2 seconds on the clock, and now we'll keep ticking. They do have enough time to run it out and get to the 3rd quarter if they choose to do so, or get to the 4th quarter more so. And that's what they're going to do. They will pick the football up a mere 4 yards away from its place down right now. That will be at the 48-yard line, just to the other side of the 50, and we will take a short break and be right back after a little bit here. You're watching SoCal College sports coverage of Marauder football here on the Coast Sports Network. All the way to the 4th quarter, and that was a quick 3rd quarter. And we will see the Lancers driving left to right now. Out of the pistol. 1st and 10, line again will be the 42-yard line, and oh my goodness, thrown into a dangerous zone, and that was a potential opportunity maybe lost, and we have a Marauder player down on the ground. Not sure who is down, but that football was thrown into no man's land. We can watch this one more time, and I don't think you're going to see it. It would be caught on the lower part of your screen. So the Lancers will talk things over as they get an opportunity to maybe dial up another play. 2nd and 10 coming up. Marauders doing their best to stifle the offensive push here. But punt and turnover downs have been the 2 drives so far in this second half. Marauders have 3 so far. Punt, touchdown, punt for the Marauders. They had 6 total possessions in the first. It was a touchdown pass to Elijah Steele there on the back end of the end zone. A punt, a kick that was blocked, a touchdown run from Bankhead. And 2 punts back to back. And just confirming it is R.B. Wilson, who was roughed up on the last play. He is walking off on his own power. Handoff here on 2nd down, and this is to a running back that they haven't handed the football yet. Caleb Gardner. A little bit of a scat back. Hinton with his helmet off. He'll have to come out for 1 play. Jacob Doolittle out of the gun. 3rd down situation. 3rd and 8 to go. Line again is the 42. They're on the 50. Throwing here on 3rd down. Looking downfield. He's not got a lot of time. And that was almost thrown into the hands of the defensive back streaking over. It looked like Christopher Early, who was streaking over, and he was covering Austrie, and Austrie had just run a little bit too far inside, and I think Doolittle was just trying to make something happen there as he had the defense kind of coming all around him. 4th down out, and they're going to have the punting unit come out on the field, and Robinson Reese will now take the return. Standing around his 12-yard line. Snap is out, and this is a short punt to roughly the 37-yard line. We'll see where they choose to mark it. 14:04 on the clock, and the Marauders with an opportunity to maybe make a bigger lead here, and this could potentially put the game away if they could score a touchdown right here. Ball will be placed at the 40-yard line of the Marauders. They'll be tasked with driving the football 60 yards down the field out of the pistol. And that'll be an encroachment penalty called against the defense there. And I think wisely, offensive lineman Caleb Templeman reached out and touched the defensive lineman, should get the penalty. Ball on the ground here. I think it was Q Allen carrying the football, and it is. Q Allen all the way up to the 47-yard line, 2-yard gain out of it, right into the pile. I see Bankhead standing on the sideline. He was a little bit roughed up after the touchdown in his last series, which was 2 possessions ago for the Marauders. Warren will be in the pistol again. He'll have 3 receivers to his left, including Matthew Flores, who will be in the slot there on the short side. Hands the football off again. Q Allen, big run. Able to get all the way up to the 45-yard line, and he'll be marked down with a first down and moving the chains. 13-10 ticking away, and the Lancers have to be thinking about the clock here as the time starts ticking down. Huge opportunities lost. All three of their possessions. The turnover on downs and the 2 punts. Just not able to get the job done. Marauders moving the football here on their 4th possession of this half. Q Allen with the football again, all the way down to the 44-yard line. They'll be able to gain of 4 yards. 2nd and 6 coming up. They've really established a running game in this second half that they were kind of hinting at, and I would be not surprised if they had well over 100 yards now in this second half. And I'm going to check the live stats for you here in a minute. In the meanwhile, 3 receivers to his left, 1 to his right. Hands it off again. Q Allen able to get up to the line of scrimmage, no gain. 3rd down and 6 coming up. So a big 3rd down coming up. This is well out of what I would call is field goal range. Henderson does have a leg. I don't know if he has 50 yards. 55 yards in his foot. Immediate pressure, throw to Q Allen. Allen on his feet. Beautiful to avoid the pressure. Allen down the left side. 5, touchdown Marauders! And that could potentially put the game away as the Marauders, with 11:15 left to go in this game, are able to tack on another touchdown. No flags on the field, and a beautiful designed pass as the pressure came in from the Lancers. And a huge, huge play for the catch and run of Q Allen. That's a big, big play to come in. Amir Bankhead being the main single back here for the Marauders, but Q Allen, have your name etched in the history books for the Marauders as well. So 27-7. Is the scoreline now. And they have just ticked over 100 yards rushing. At halftime, they had about 56 yards. Let me check that one more time. They had 56 yards on the ground. Yeah, they had 53 yards on the ground at halftime, so they have just ticked over the 100 mark. 106 total yards on the ground here in the game, and that has been the difference maker here in the 3rd quarter. The 3rd down efficiency has been about 4 of 10 here for the Marauders, but big things happening here in the 4th quarter and the second half, to say the least. 27-7. Failed attempt at the point after. And the Lancers set to take their 11th possession of the game. Returned from the 15-yard line, turning around is Austri, but he's going to be hit and met by a whole bunch of Marauders. Allen with his first touchdown of the game in the last drive. So 11th drive coming here for the Lancers, and they are running out of time to make things happen. .06 on the clock. Big reminder, if you want to rewatch any of these broadcasts that we do here for Antelope Valley College, they are archived on the website at SoCalCollegeSports.com or the YouTube channel SoCal College Sports 1. You can find anything archived in a huge hit late on the running back as they get up to the 25-yard line. Line to gain will be the 29. So 6-yard run. I believe by Jason Sanford. Time beginning to become the issue. We were hinting at it earlier, and every second that ticks down, you cannot get back. Austri in motion, looking to throw here on second down. Ball is tipped, but caught, and that's going to be Jason Sanford able to make the reception. That'll be a first down. Whistle's calling the play dead around the 30-yard line. They'll mark him down at the 31, and the chains will move. Good attempt by the defensive line to get their hands up. So you have Hinton back out on the field from last drive. Remember, he came out. He is back on the field, so positive for him. Handoff here on first down, and it will be a gain of 4. Out of the pistol formation. Doolittle. Austri in motion again. Throwing over the middle, and he throws it right past his streaking across the receiver. Kenneth Russell was intended for the pass, but streaking across the middle, he did have an angle. I don't think he was just going to be able to complete it. 9:09 on the clock stop. So 3rd down and 6 coming up. Line to gain will be the 41. Good night of football if you are a Marauders fan so far. This second half has been decent on all sides of the game. First half sloppy, I think, on both teams, but the Marauders were on top. Trips receivers to the right, one to the left. Doolittle rolling out near side, looking for a short pass. He's going to choose to keep it, and that might be a problem because he's going to be hit well behind the line to gain and brought down maybe after a gain of 1. He was out at the 36. Punting unit coming out onto the field, and the 11th drive will turn into a punt. If the Marauders get the football now, it'll be a real chance to put the game away. Robinson Reese out to return. Punt is up from Nate Sanchez. Around the 40, takes a Marauders bounce all the way up to the 44, so they'll get great field position again to start things out. And we'll see Anthony, check that, we'll see Darius Warren back out onto the field. Beautiful night for football. The weather has warmed up here in California quite a little bit. Not necessarily happy to see that. We had fall for all of 1 week. Here we go. Handoff here on first down, and it's a different back here in for the Marauders. I think Jackson Marshall is the ball carrier here. Confirm that in 1 second. Yeah, Jackson Marshall. On the season, he's had 7 carries for 25 yards, averaging about 36 yards per carry. It'll make it back up to the line of scrimmage. He didn't really get any farther than that. 2nd and 10 coming up here. And this is going to be one of those drives where the Marauders will just try to tick time off of the clock. Matthew Flores doing a dance there on the sideline, or doing a dance there right by the hash line. And might we see a false start penalty? No, and a false start. 5-yard penalty from the line, so it'll be 2nd and 15 now coming up. 7:37 on the clock. Three receivers to the left, one to the right. Out of the offset eye. Nice big run here for Jackson Marshall. Able to work his way up through a couple layers of defensive pressure. Able to get into that second level. That's what you want to do, and that's a nice run there on 2nd down. Puts it to 3rd and manageable. 3rd and 7 now coming up. Clock is running now almost under 7 minutes to go. 4 receivers out again. Trying to convert here on 3rd down from their own 46-yard line. Warren hands it off again, trying to make a run out of it. He does. Makes a move, jumping over one and getting brought down and knocked down after the 1st down. And Jackson Marshall, there you go with your first big run of the game. And how about it? 1st down, move the chains. 6:42 on the clock, and the clock will start running the moment the football is down. What a great job, Jackson Marshall. He just kept trying to find that edge, and eventually he found enough space to make a push up the field. And this is what the Marauders have been doing all in the second half of this game, and they keep moving the football. Might Marshall have an opportunity to score a touchdown on the ground here. Darius Warren out of the gun, hands it off. Marshall finding a hole again, and he's able to punch through. He's up in the air and finally brought down. That might be another 1st down. If not, it's 9-yard gain. Waiting for the signal now, but I think he made it all the way up to the 26. He was marked down at the 28. And he was up in the air, and he just like stood up for a second there. Jackson Marshall doing his best job to get every inch out of that run there. 9-yard run, and that's going to help pad his stats a little bit. And we have Q Allen out on the field now. And that's a bad penalty. Get called right here in this situation from the 28-yard line. There was 1 yard to go, but now it's going to be 2nd and 6 from the 33. False start penalty. And you saw guys leaning forward. I don't know if everybody just lost their balance or what happened there, but regardless, bad timing. 3 receivers to his left on the near hash. Darius Warren out of the gun. Hands it off, Q Allen, looking for another hole, fighting for more yards. He bounces off a defending, check that, a linebacker. And he goes crown forward. Watch him dip his head as he comes right at you, blowing up the linebacker. Q Allen had the touchdown on the last possession here for the Marauders, and there's going to be a flag out on the field. I'll see if it's a hold. It's in the area of what would be a hold. 4:59 on the clock, so the Marauders doing a good job of taking this thing down. We'll see what the referee calls. And that's an unsportsmanlike conduct. So 15-yard penalty is going to move the football way back. I believe the play was going to be called. So the penalty will be called after the play. It's now. It's so. Well, this is interesting. I see the chains moving back to the marker. I don't. So it's going to be 1st and 10 from the 39-yard line, choosing to hand it off here on 1st down. Q Allen is the ball carrier, but I would kind of like to know if the ball is going to be assessed after the run. Okay, so the penalty was assessed after the run, and that's why the ball is going to be 1st and 10 from the 39. So they get the first down, but the actual line of scrimmage goes backwards. Interesting way that worked, but nonetheless, a fresh set of downs. 2nd and 8 coming up. Q Allen trying to fight for any yards that he could there. And another penalty called for a hold, so we'll see first down come up again. No, another unsportsmanlike penalty. Okay. I think there's a whole bunch of questions about what's going on. I think this is the proper assessment of the penalty beforehand. We'll see. It's still holding a 2nd down for right now. The referee's trying to sort this out. 2nd down and what will be a long way to go. And the referees are huddled up in the middle of the field, and I believe they're actually talking about what's going on. Though I think they have it sorted out now. So 2nd and 23 is the situation that the Marauders have found themselves in. That was staunchly different from what was going on about 2 minutes ago. Remember, 4:51 still on the clock. That being the most important thing to manage here if you are AVC. Just try not to commit any penalties. At this point, that will become your biggest issue if you are the Marauders. Don't give them any free opportunities. Q Allen with another good run, trying to get back up to the original line of scrimmage, and I don't know if he was able to do that. He was not, all the way up to the 44. So I'll call it 3rd and 15 now. Clock now running, and I think this is the most important part. If you can run on 3rd down and get the football at least somewhere close to the first down marker with 4 minutes or so remaining on the clock. We got 12 on the play clock. So at the end of this, we will be at 4 minutes, just under 4. Low snap, handed off to Q Allen. Allen able to make a play out of it, and he's going to roll around and be able to spin all the way down to the 35-yard line. So we are under 4 minutes to play here in this game, and this very much so may have sealed the deal. Will they choose to go for it on 4th down? I mean, why not? You're well within Lancer territory. Darius Warren looked like he was asking the sideline for an opportunity to go. They might just choose to run it all the way down to the end of the play clock. They have not got set. 10 seconds on the play clock. Now coming back, we'll see if they try to run a play here at the last very possible second. 2 seconds, and they do. They get the snap off, throwing here deep to the left side, to the right side. We're the feet in, and I'll see a flag, and this might be a flag. Oh, this is a big penalty here on the near sideline. I'm going to say there's a couple numbers. Robinson Reese, and I think Shamir Washington involved in a little bit of an altercation here on the near sideline. Where his feet? Can we roll that back one more time, Shalette? This football, I think, was catchable. Oh, he's just out of bounds. So it'll be a turnover on downs for their 11th possession. That ultimately ruined by penalties, but now 3 minutes and 9 seconds on the clock here for the Lancers, and that is not a lot of time. Now the referee's talking about a lot of different things here on the sideline. You do not want to get yourself involved in anything. So there's a personal foul against the Marauders, and football will end up in the hands of the Lancers. So here's the 12th drive here for the Lancers. Diving forward and trying to find some room to run was Joaquin Elliott. Hasn't really seen much action this half. The clock will continue to run down. We're under 3 minutes to go. 3-yard gain on the play, 2nd and 7 coming up. Line to gain will be the 40. Jacob Doolittle still at the helm here for the Lancers. Pass over to the right side, incomplete. Thrown out of bounds. .232 on the clock, and this is the point of the broadcast where I'd like to put out a couple thank yous. Tom Gang, the Dean of Athletics here at Antelope Valley College. Byron Devers, Sports Information Director. Appreciate everybody's hard work, and we appreciate everybody helping support, bring these broadcasts to you guys. And of course, Mike Cepeda, executive producer and owner of the company, SoCal College Sports, and the Coast Sports Network, also hosting all of our sports games. And of course, Antelope Valley College would like to thank their sponsors, Fonder Solari and BHE Renewables, helping make Antelope Valley College sports broadcasts available to all of you every single weekend here at home at Marauder Stadium. 3rd and 5 now coming up. And of course, Matthew and Scott Tyndall down on the cameras, and Eric Chalette, our producer and director for tonight's game. So everything that we've been doing here and that you've seen tonight, that's all due to the hard work and effort of everybody behind the scenes. And we're happy to continue to bring this coverage to you week to week. However you can view it, whether it's live or in the rebroadcast. Doolittle rushing for more yards. He'll have a first down all the way down to the Marauder 38-yard line. We are under 2 minutes to play here, 1:38 on the clock. First and 10 line to gain will be the 28-yard line. Long throw attempt. He's got a wide open receiver to the corner, and that will be the first touchdown of the half. Thrown to Ivan Austri. 12th possession equals a touchdown. And caught the defense kind of lacking here in the last couple dying minutes of this football game. This will make the Lancers trail 2 scores. And there's going to be a flag from the back judge. I'm trying to see what they called, if it was an encroachment or a false start. Yeah. So this will move the football forward 1 additional yard for the point after attempt. Snap is down. Kick is up and good. So 14-27. Now the Lancers trail by 2 scores. It's mathematically possible for sure. We will obviously be seeing a onside kick, and this would be a very bad situation for the Marauders. Again, you kind of never want to give them too much of an opportunity, even in the dying breaths of a football game like this. The Marauders have been in control, very much so, here in the second half, and this would be a bad way to give away the game. Well, if the Lancers do hypothetically recover, they'll have 11 minutes, or check that, 1 minute and 11 seconds on the clock for now. Probably 1 minute to go to march down the field 2 times. Marauders with Robinson Reese out back to return if they choose to go long here, but anticipating the onside kick. It will be short, trying to figure out exactly who this is going to. Justin Vergara, onside kick, and it's going to be covered by the Marauders, and that will be all she wrote unless they choose to call the timeouts and try to stop them here. 1:09 on the clock to go. And this is mostly wrapped up if the Marauders can retain possession of the football, but Cameron Carlisle the one to jump onto the football there. We'll see Crawford back out as the quarterback, and they will probably hand it off just to seal the deal. And there is a timeout called, I believe, by the Lancers. Now, if that was before the snap, now no time was ticking off the clock, so it'd be interesting to see. What's going on here, trying to find some sort of special play maybe to get the ball back in their possession. Not quite giving up yet. Now, just a reminder to everybody, we'll have our coverage right back here next week against Centris College. Kickoff will be check that. It will be at Citrus. We won't be here. We'll be gone for 2 weeks, October 1st at Citrus, and then LA Valley the following week, following the bye. So we won't have football for 3 weeks, and then Santa Monica will be coming and visiting here October 22nd at 2 p.m. So keep that in your calendar for Antelope Valley College football. And they'll be at LA Pierce and at Moore Park College, my old alma mater, to end things for the season. So a double, 2 games at home, and then they'll be on the road for the final 2 games. Both of those games on October 22nd and October 29th will be at 2 p.m. We'll have the coverage right here on SoCal College Sports, and that will be the final play of the game. Everybody, final score of today's game, 27-14, and the Marauders come up with their second victory of the season. They're now 2-2. The Pasadena City College Lancers will fall to the same record. They'll be 2-2. And we will wrap things up here in a second. Final thank yous, Tom Gang and Byron Devers. Mike Cepeda, our owner-operator, executive producer of SoCal College Sports. And the whole crew here at SoCal College Sports bringing this game to you, including the Coast Sports Network. I'm Emery Johnson signing off for the final time today. Final score, 27-14. Marauders walk away with victory. Good night, everybody.